Hey everyone, it's me Matt here. Welcome to my new series all about meditation. Today I want to talk a little bit about why it's worth practicing meditation. Why do it? What is the reason? Well, the actual fact is that there are so many uses for meditation that I'm not even going to be able to cover most of them in this video. Meditation is kind of one of those habits that has a ripple effect that carries over into almost every single other area of your life. There is very little that it doesn't affect. So first, let's talk about some of the reasons you might want to meditate. Perhaps the most obvious case for meditation practice will be when it is used for spiritual purposes, such as for the purpose of achieving enlightenment. In Buddhism, for example, the Buddha himself was said to have reached enlightenment through his continued meditation practice. He then went on to say that others could achieve the same by maintaining similar practice. For this reason, meditation is a central practice in Buddhism. Yet, meditation, despite its spiritual origins, does not inherently have to be a spiritual practice. The benefits are overwhelming. Meditation can reduce or even entirely eliminate things like depression and anxiety. It reduces stress significantly. It can increase your tolerance for pain, or even reduce your perception of that pain. It helps with creativity, and I can say myself that numerous ideas for videos on this channel, including this series on meditation itself, came to me as a result of meditation sessions. It can help you quit bad habits and improve your willpower. It can defeat insomnia and leave you having long, restful nights of sleep. It can even improve your physical health, improving the health of your heart, strengthening your immune system, and helping to support your fitness goals. But how? How does meditation even do any of these things? In fact, what exactly is meditation and how does it work? Well, in standard meditation practice, sometimes called breath meditation or sitting meditation, the object of focus is typically the breath. We stay with the breath, often at a focal point like the tip of the nose or the upper lip, or sometimes we follow it through different parts of the body. Sometimes we control and experiment with the breath. Other times we simply watch it achieve its own natural rhythm. When we focus on the breath, a few things start to happen. The first thing that many people notice is that focusing on the breath isn't quite as simple as it sounds. You will catch your mind wandering off, to think about what you were doing just before you sat down to meditate, or to think about what you've planned to do tomorrow, or to wonder how long you've been meditating, or to start worrying about some event that happened years ago that you'd forgotten all about until now. Many people experience this and get discouraged and reason that meditation just isn't working for them. After all, isn't meditation meant to be about achieving a quiet mind? Well, just as you can't go into the gym for the first time and expect to squat 500 pounds, you can't sit down to meditate for the first time and expect your mind to cooperate right away. Just as the struggle to go through a particular range of motion with some weights in the gym forces your body to adapt and get bigger and stronger, the attention you place on your breath and the continued effort to put your focus there forces your concentration to improve. Let's be real here. In the 21st century, we live extremely busy lives. We are constantly bombarded by information. Even when we aren't being stressed by responsibilities or work, we're left to procrastinate and chase quick hits of euphoria consumed through our phones, computers and television sets. All of this leads to one thing: very cluttered minds. Our minds are constantly chattering away, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. It's like we can't shut them up. Think about how often, when you were talking to someone else, you've got caught up in your own thoughts, not really hearing what they're saying, just waiting to speak. Think about how many times you've been in class and you got so distracted with your own thoughts that you completely missed what the teacher was trying to say. What about those nights where you've wanted to sleep but you spent half an hour or maybe even hours laying there just tossing and turning, thinking about all the things that have been bothering you recently? Or maybe even during this video you've already missed some of the things I've said because your mind was elsewhere. Every single one of these things is one of the symptoms that your mind has very little ability to concentrate and is running around like a wild beast that needs to be tamed. Meditation is the gradual process of taming this beast and turning it from something that can often be your worst enemy into something that can one day be your greatest ally. Normally, we just let our minds run wild. In meditation, our minds will still run wild, but we notice this and we try to maintain concentration on our breath, or sometimes on something else if we're practicing a different kind of meditation. Every time we find our mind running away and getting distracted, we notice this and return it back to our focal point. Now initially, this process is going to be hard, but as time progresses and you continue to maintain a consistent meditation practice, you will find your concentration improves. Soon you will spend longer and longer periods of time concentrated on your point of focus and less time getting distracted. You will have good days and bad days, of course. On some days you simply won't be able to maintain concentration even when the entire past week your meditation sessions were going wonderfully. On other days you'll find that your concentration doesn't waver for the entire session despite the fact that you ordinarily find it difficult to concentrate for more than a minute or two. Overall though, as you continue to practice, you will see yourself continually improving. Now your mind begins to wander less during your meditation sessions, but this isn't an isolated effect that only occurs during the sessions themselves. You will start to find your mind wandering less throughout your day-to-day activities. You'll be able to focus better on the task at hand, meaning you'll get your work done quicker and with less procrastination. You'll also find that you don't get caught up in those nasty trains of thought that lead to stress, like overthinking past events and getting depressed, or endlessly worrying about future events and getting anxious. As a result of this, your mental well-being improves and so does your mood. Perhaps one of the most profoundly noticeable effects of meditation is just that, what it does for your mood over time. I actually recently tracked this and the results were astonishing. I decided in early January to start tracking my daily moods, as I was going through a period of noticeable fatigue and depressed mood. Perhaps unsurprisingly, I had not kept up with my meditation practice, and for maybe a month or two I had not meditated at all. So I tracked my daily moods in this application, and I also tracked all the daily activities I took part in each day. Now my mood was okay, it was above average most days, with just a few bad days here and there. My energy levels on the other hand were not. I was procrastinating massively and had very little motivation to actually get anything done. Then suddenly, in the chart depicting my mood over the month, there's a sudden uptick, when every single day my mood is listed as the best option that the app allows you to input. Huh? I wonder what changed. Well, there's no need to wonder. You guessed it, meditation. The first day that was recorded as the best mood that the app allows you to input was the day I began practicing meditation again. Now here's where it gets pretty mind-blowing. Every single day, every single one of them since that day has also been listed as the absolute best mood that the app accepts, except for 2 days. And it's true, my mood has been extremely positive and my energy levels very high. The only thing that changed during this period of time was that I've been meditating daily again. Yes, meditation really is that powerful. The results speak for themselves. Now this is going to seem like a bit of a tangent, but I want to ask you a question. Have you ever lost something, looked everywhere for it, not being able to find it whatsoever, only to give up, stop looking and immediately find the object of your search right as soon as you stop thinking about it? Why does that happen? Well, personally I think it's once again due to our runaway minds. The more our minds are allowed to run wild, the less productive they are. You come up with all sorts of places where you might have left your keys, but not the one that matters, the one where they actually are. If you just allowed your mind to shut up for one little moment, you'll be able to hear that quiet little voice beneath it that's saying, "Hey, they're right there on the desk in front of you, you idiot, look." As you embrace a daily meditation habit, you start to find that you have less of those troubling searches for objects lost and more of those aha moments of realization, because your mind is quiet enough to hear them when they come. Those aha moments there aren't just there to help you find things that you've lost either. This is also where the creativity boosting benefits of meditation come from. When your mind is busy, cluttered and actively trying to think of a solution, of an idea, often you'll find it talks over itself and never gets anywhere at all. When your mind is able to go quiet for just a moment, suddenly the ideas can come flooding. You'll actually notice this in your meditation sessions themselves. Initially, when you get distracted during meditation, it will almost always be with unproductive thoughts that have no use or purpose whatsoever. Later on though, when you've been meditating for some time already, you'll find that even those times when you do get distracted, the thoughts are often quite useful. You suddenly realise the solution to that problem you've been trying to solve at work. You suddenly come up with a great idea for an article to post on your blog. You know exactly what to say to that person or what to do on that particular day. You still return your attention back to your breath or point of focus just as you always do, but you return it there a little wiser, a little better equipped to deal with your day. As well as enhanced creativity and positive emotions towards yourself, you also develop more positive emotions towards others. Anger, hatred, desire for revenge and other similar emotions are all rooted in the wild, untamed properties our mind usually exhibits. A quiet mind is not so quick to snap or attack. You've probably noticed it yourself sometimes. Sometimes you'll have an argument with someone or get angry at someone, and in that moment you're absolutely seething. You can't stand them, you dislike everything about them. Then 10 or 15 minutes later, when you've calmed down, you realise that anger was completely misplaced. As you meditate regularly, your mind will be quieter even in those moments where you're placed under stress, and you'll be able to catch yourself being moved towards these negative emotions and prevent it from progressing any further. You'll be able to stay calm and collected. This also enables you to better handle high pressure situations in general, and so in careers where they're unavoidable, it can be an incredibly powerful asset to have in your arsenal, if you really want to achieve success. Meditation also allows you to step back. We as humans tend to be a little bit results oriented. We're trained that if we experience something bad, we should try to avoid repeating the same thing again in future. And if we experience something good, we should try to keep on repeating it. On the surface, this seems like a logical way to improve and grow and keep ourselves safe. Yet this is perhaps one of humanity's biggest weaknesses of all. When every good experience trains us to repeat it, we can be drawn into vices like drugs, sex and gambling addictions. When every bad experience trains us to avoid it, we can become fearful of everyday things and develop avoidance patterns and behaviours like agoraphobia. Here, meditation allows us to see the bigger picture and gain insight into why you desire certain things and why you seek to avoid others. It can help you understand that sometimes you need to ignore those impulses to run towards or away from certain things and act in spite of your drives. Training the mind to concentrate on the breath is one form of this, as you're acting in spite of your drive to get caught up in thought, in spite of all the distractions. Meditation can help shed those fears and avoidance behaviours and help you remove those bad habits, vices and addictions. Perhaps one of the biggest benefits all of this has is that it can lead to true, genuine happiness. One of the reasons so many of us are unhappy is because we crave and desire so many things, and crave and desire to avoid so many things. If you want all of these things that you can't or don't have, then it's natural that you will feel unsatisfied. You're constantly chasing after something that you can't quite grasp, so you'll never feel like you're quite there. Often, even when you are lucky enough to catch those things, you find that they were more rewarding in your imagination when you dreamt of having them, and less rewarding in real life when you actually get them, or the reward itself is there but it's fleeting and it passes away and now you just want the thing again but don't have it anymore. When you are constantly dependent on outside external circumstances for your happiness, then happiness will always be fleeting, it will always be something that passes away. In meditation, we train ourselves to not really need any of these things, to simply be able to sit with our breath for long periods of time. When you start to need and crave less, you start to become happy with what you do have. Even if it's very little, you start to appreciate it, to feel grateful for all the gifts you've been given, to feel grateful just to be alive. When you've been meditating for some time, you'll also start to realise that you start to become profoundly happy just sitting there meditating, and you realise something astonishing. That you can generate happiness from within without requiring anything to bring it to you. When you realise that you have an unlimited source of happiness that is actually within you, that you can generate at your own will, that is something that is absolutely life-changing. Now, I kind of think at this point I've sung meditation's praises enough. I could go on for hours about the benefits, but your own experiences are worth more than any number of my words. So find out the benefits for yourself. Start up a consistent meditation practice of at least 20 minutes a day, and ideally 20 minutes twice a day, and do what I did. Track your mood every day, see how you feel, see how your life changes, then you can tell me about the benefits. Now, if you'd like to learn to meditate, be sure to subscribe to my channel as this video is part of an ongoing series. If you like what I do here and would like to give something back, visit my Patreon page and find out how you can support this channel. Last but not least, if you want to watch more, take a look at the 2 videos on screen, pick your favourite, go watch that, and I will see you soon. Take care.